Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Training Industry Leader Talk, Creating Training Content with AI, sponsored by Camtasia, ComLab India, DID, GP Strategies, and Neovation Learning. I'm Avery Vogt, Events Manager here at Training Industry, and I'm so thrilled you could join us here today. Before we get started, I would like to go over just a few housekeeping items to help you interact with our speaker and get the most out of today's program. Throughout today's event, please feel free to use the chat for comments and submit questions in the Q&A panel. All questions will be addressed during the event or at the end of the program during our Q&A section. Once this session ends, a brief survey will appear in your browser. Please take a moment to share feedback on the session and the speaker. And as always, all of our sessions are being recorded and will be archived on trainingindustry.com, and you will receive a follow-up email from us with a link to the on-demand sessions. If this is your first Training Industry event, special welcome goes out to you. Training Industry exists to make connections among learning and development professionals. We offer tons of resources to support your role in L&D through live events like today's Leader Talk, as well as through articles on our website, our magazine, conferences, research reports, and our podcasts. We would also love to hear what you've learned from today's session on social media, so please follow us on your favorite platforms and let's continue the conversation. And now, without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce you to our speaker, Rajesh Venkata. He started his career as a quality executive in 2008 and has since gained extensive expertise in e-learning, digital content delivery, and project management. He has an excellent track record of team management and operational planning, along with extensive working knowledge of e-learning authoring tools, such as Articulate Storyline, Rise, Captivate, and Lectora. We are very excited to have you here today, Rajesh, and with that, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah. Let me share my screen. Is my screen
Looks
visible?
great.
Yeah. Thank you, Avery, for the introduction. So, welcome everyone. I'm thrilled to be presenting this leader talk with Training Industry on a question that we believe is at the heart of where L&D is headed. Not just how to use AI, but how to use it to build systems that truly scale. So over the next 45 minutes, we are going to move beyond the hype and get into the real architecture of AI-enabled enterprise learning. So I will share what we are seeing with our global customers and what's working and what most organizations are still getting wrong. So let's get started. Let me briefly set the context on who we are and the value we bring. At ComLab, our focus is simple, maximizing learning impact while optimizing cost, speed, and scale. On the services front, we operate across the full spectrum of digital learning, from custom e-learning and video creation to translations and L&D staff augmentation. So whether it's building from scratch or scaling existing programs, we support end-to-end execution. What truly differentiates us are our three core strengths. First, design and development at scale and speed. We were built to handle high volume rollouts without compromising quality. Second, customer delight, value obsession. Like our engagement model is structured to consistently deliver measurable ROI. And third, thought leadership and customer education. We don't just execute, we actively help clients evolve their L&D strategy. And this positioning is validated by multiple industry recognitions you see here, particularly in AI-enabled learning, rapid learning, and blended solutions. So in essence, we are not just a vendor, we operate as a strategic partner, helping organizations scale learning transformation efficiently. So here is what we will cover today. We'll start with a quick snapshot of where AI adoption in enterprise learning actually stands, because the data is quite telling. Then we'll dig into why so many organizations are stuck at the pilot stage before moving into the practical architecture of what a real AI-enabled learning system looks like. And we'll spend some time on the framework for evaluating AI partners because the tool choice matters enormously at scale. And we'll look at real case studies where customers have achieved 60% faster training rollout using AI. And of course, towards end, we can have a questions towards the dedicated Q&A block at the end. Yes. So let's start with where things actually stand. The number, what it's shown on the screen, it's paint a clear picture of what field in the transition. Like 72% of L&D leaders list AI as a top strategic priority. So that's not surprising, right? So A is top of mind everywhere. So, but here is the more telling number. Only 38% have moved past proof of concept into actual production use. That's a massive execution gap. And yet the organizations that have deployed AI in their learning workflows are reporting up to 60% faster content development. So the potential is clearly visible. And the challenge here is the what we call as about the ambition gap. Organizations are talking about AI-enabled learning in the flow of work, personalized pathways, skills intelligence. But when you look under the hood, like most haven't built the governance frameworks, the data integrations, or the measurement infrastructure to support those ambitions. Most AI in L&D today is still being used as a fast typewriter to draft course scripts, generate quiz questions, produce voiceovers, and generating images. These are productivity gains and they are real, but they are not the same as building a learning system that scales. The organizations that are pulling ahead are the ones who have made the mental shift from AI as a tool to AI as an infrastructure. So that's the conversation we want to have today. So let's dive to the next slide. Next slide. So what are the common gaps? Why AI pilots stall? So if AI adoption is so clearly valuable, why are most organizations stuck at the pilot stage? So we have worked with L&D teams across manufacturing, pharma, banking, logistics, and technology-based organizations, and we see the same 6 failure modes show up again and again. The first one is no governance framework. So AI tools get adopted department by department, team by team. There is no standard for when AI can be used and how outputs are reviewed or what quality bar applies. You end up with inconsistent content quality and compliance risk. Second is disconnected from systems. The AI authoring tool gets used to produce a course, and that course gets uploaded to the LMS, but there is no intelligence connecting the two. There's no feedback loop or no data flow. And the third one is the skills and talent misalignment. So content is being created, but it's not mapped to the organization's skills taxonomy. So when leadership asks, is our workforce more capable than it was? L&D can't answer. And the fourth is the pilot mindset versus scale mindset. A team of 3 produces a beautiful AI-assisted course for one region. Then leadership says, like, roll this out globally, and the architecture falls apart because it was built for one context, not to scale or not for a bigger audience. And the fifth is no measurement infrastructure. This is where business cases die. AI can produce content faster, but if you can't show that it moves the capability needed, you will fight for budget every year. And the last one is the wrong partner and wrong promise. A lot of AI authoring tools are great for creative agencies or small L&D shops, But enterprise learning at scale requires integration with talent systems, governance support, and a partner who understands global rollout logistics. So here I would like to take a minute, like how many of these resonate with where your organization is today? Just drop a number in the chat, like one is one if it is none, six if it all six, uh, in the chat so that I can look into that one. Oh, four, four, yeah, one, four, then to some extent all six. Okay, always three. Okay, five. Great. Five, six, six. We just had our co-pilot training this morning. That's great. Mylin. Amanda, 4 to 5. Great. Five. Matt says five. Yeah. Okay, great. Good responses. Thanks. I think most of the have identified the gaps and experiencing that one. Yeah. We'll move to the next topic. Yeah. This slide captures the core mindset shift we need to have. So most organizations are asking the first question, how do we use AI to create training content faster? And the answer to that question is genuinely useful. You can cut development time by 30 to 50%. That's the real ROI, right? But the organizations that are building durable competitive advantage are asking a different question. How do we design AI-enabled learning systems that scale reliably? So point to the left column, AI is as a tool, it's all about the productivity. Like you are accelerating the same process you have always had. A content creator still decides what to build. An instructional designer still structures the learning, and AI just helps you do it faster. So the system, how learning is governed, deployed, measured, stays the same. Point to the right column, AI as a system is about all transformation. Here, AI is not just speeding up creation, it's embedded into how learning is delivered, how it adapts to each learner, how it connects to skills data, and how it surfaces insights for L&D leadership. The learning ecosystem itself becomes intelligent. So the distinction matters because they require completely different investments. Faster content authoring can be achieved with a tool subscription and a few training sessions. Whereas an AI-enabled learning system requires architecture design decisions, technology integration, governance design, and critically, the right partners. So let me pause here and ask you to reflect on this for a moment. Yeah, you might have appeared with the poll questions. So if your organization's AI strategy vanished overnight, no tools, no automation, no AI assisted workflows, what would actually happen to your learning function? Okay.
Everyone, will give you just a few more moments here. Make sure to put your answer in the poll.
Yeah. I think, yeah. Okay, great. So we would slow down, but keeping working the same way is 39, and very little would change 43. Learning would fundamentally change is 9%, and not sure is 9%. Okay. So if we go with the first option like the learning would fundamentally change. I think that's a strong signal of maturity. It means AI is not just helping you move faster. Uh, like it's embedded in how learning is designed, delivered, and optimized. In this case, losing AI would force a complete rethink of workflows, roles, and even learning strategy. Whereas the second option, we would slow down but keep working the same way. This is where many organizations currently sit. AI is clearly adding value, but primarily as an accelerator, not as a transformer. You are producing content faster, maybe reducing effort, but the underlying process hasn't changed. Think of it as upgrading the engine without redesigning the vehicle. Of course, very little would change. This is, again, it's a missed opportunity, like plain and simple. It suggests AI hasn't meaningfully penetrated your learning ecosystem yet. Either adoption is low or it's being used in isolated, non-critical ways. Of course, not sure is almost, and this is actually more common than you might think. Uncertainty usually means there's no clear visibility into how AI is being used. So, in other words, like AI may be present, but it's not governed. So, let's explore what a system level AI approach looks like. So, this is the architecture we recommend for any organization serious about AI-enabled learning at enterprise scale. So there are 5 layers, and all 5 need to be AI-aware for the system to work. So we'll see from bottom to top. The first is layer 1, which is all about the governance and data. This is the foundation. Before any AI-generated content goes into your learning ecosystem, you need to have answered who approves what AI can do, what data is it trained on or exposed to, how does it integrate with your HR systems. And most organizations skip this layer and pay for it later when they have hit compliance issues or data privacy concerns. And layer 2, second one is the layer 2, which is all about the content and the skills. This is where most organizations start AI-assisted content creation, but the keyword is skills aligned. So content created without a skills taxonomy is just content. So content mapped to a skills framework becomes evidence of capability development. Now coming to the third one is layer 3, delivery and ecosystem. How content reaches the learner. This layer is where LMS, LXP in the flow of work tools and AI coaching bots live. So the critical requirement at enterprise scale is that all of these speak the same language, ideally through XAPI. So learner data flows between them. And the next one is layer 4, where analytics and insights. You cannot manage what you cannot measure. So this layer turns raw learning data into actionable intelligence. Which skills gaps are persisting? Where is learner engagement dropping? Which business teams are falling behind on compliance? And next is layer 5, which is business outcomes. So this is the layer that earns L&D its seat at the table. So when you can connect learning activity to business performance, productivity, safety incidents, sales win ratio, or you stop being a cost center and become a strategic lever. The reason most AI L&D efforts stall at layers 1 and 2 is that organizations invest in content tools without building the infrastructure for layers 3 to 5. Their content gets created, but it doesn't drive outcomes at scale. The shift we are advocating here for is designing all 5 layers together from day 1. So let's get concrete about what scale actually means in an enterprise context. We are not talking about like running a course in 5 different regions. We are talking about the 6 dimensions on this slide. Like first one is multi-region and multi-language. AI has genuinely transformed translation in L&D. We can currently we can produce learning content in 20 plus languages at a fraction of the cost and time of with the traditional localization. But you still need to design for localization. That means modular content, clear terminology standards, and a regional review processes. And the second is modular content architecture, this is how you get leverage. Instead of building 50 individual courses, you can build 200 high quality modules that can be assembled by AI into thousands of personalized learning paths. The upfront investment is very high, but the long-term ROI is exponentially better. And the third is the recurring learning waves. Most enterprise L&D teams spend 60 to 70% of their capacity just maintaining recurring mandatory training like compliance, onboarding, policy updates, etc. And AI can automate the refresh cycle so your team can focus on high value strategic work. And the fourth one is about adaptive learning at scale. When AI is embedded in delivery, not just authoring, it can route learners to exactly the content they need based on what they actually know, not what they are assumed to know. This dramatically improves efficiency and reduces time to competency. And the next is scalable governance. At 100 learners, manual approval of AI content is fine, whereas at 100,000 learners across 40 regions, you need automated governance, content flagging, regional compliance checks, and audit trials. The last is about the skills-driven prioritization. This is the strategic superpower. When AI connects your learning content to a live skills taxonomy, you can answer the question. Like if our business strategy shifts to X next quarter, which learning programs do we accelerate, pause, or deprioritize? That's the L&D operating as a strategic function. So here we'll see how to evaluate AI partners for an enterprise scale enablement. When it comes to selecting an AI partner for an enterprise learning, the market is very noisy. There are hundreds of tools making big promises. Here is a framework we developed from working with the different customers navigating to this decision. The left column are all about the must-haves, and the right column is all about the red flags to watch for. First, we'll go with the left. Enterprise integration experience is a non-negotiable. Any vendor can write an API spec. What you need is a partner who has actually implemented integrations with different learning management systems such as Workday, SAP SuccessFactors, Cornerstone, or any specific LMS, and has customers willing to talk about it. And second is all about the multi-language translation quality, which is all again a critical if you are global. And AI translation has improved enormously, but the quality varies significantly by language, pair, and domain. Always ask, what's the QA workflow? Is there a human review for regulated content? And then the governance capabilities separate tools from enterprise platforms. You need to know that AI-generated content has been reviewed, approved, versioned, and tracked. So reference clients matter more than demos. A beautiful demo is very easy to produce. Ask for at least 3 or reference customers with deployments of 10,000 plus learners who will take a call. Analytics tied to business KPIs is the differentiator. If the vendor can only show you completion data, they are not an enterprise learning partner. Just they are an authoring tool executors. And the right is all about the red flags, where the demo of an individual features, not an integrated workflows. and no clear data governance answerable, like this is a legal and compliance risk and enterprise scale, and can't reference large deployments. They may be great for small and medium businesses, but haven't proven enterprise scale. And then the translations with AI, but not QA option. Promises to replace your LMS, wholesale complete LMS replacement. Which is a 2 to 3 year program. And anyone promising that they will make it simple in 6 months hasn't done it before. We need to be considered for the red flags. So now let me bring this to life with some examples that show what these principles look like in practice. So here is a first case where we work with one of our global financial software provider, which serves millions of customers globally with cloud-based accounting and financial management tools. This case study examines how they have tackled a critical AI adoption challenge, which is bridging a gap between powerful AI products and the 60,000 tax bookkeeping experts who needed to use them. So setting the stage by explaining that building the technology was only half the battle. Changing expert mindset and driving real adoption was the harder, more impactful problem to solve. So the challenge here is, from the research, it is revealed 4 root causes. The first one is lack of awareness, where experts were unaware of new AI features and organizations done for use AI strategy. Information was not reaching them. And the second is fear and mindset barriers, significant fear that agentic workflows would replace their roles, and no motivation to adopt if AI was seen as a threat. And the third is the low model validation participation. So low signups for AI model validations program, which is meant models were not improving, creating a vicious cycle of poor accuracy, less adoption, and no day-to-day application. Even willing experts didn't know how to apply AI tools in their actual customer conversations and daily workflows. So here the solution, how just I want to walk you through how this full day experience is structured to drive both capability building and genuine adoption. So we have been suggested with this progressive and high engagement journey, not just a training session. We started with the pre-training modules to align everyone on AI fundamentals, so the live sessions can focus on application, not basics. And the day kicks off with an interactive strategy session using live polls and expert insights to ground AI in real business context. We then moved into a gamified quiz, reinforcing learning through competition and real engagement. And next is model validation training, a critical piece where participants learn how to responsibly evaluate AI and contribute to governance. And then we close with a feature challenge where teams prototype AI solutions using tools like ChatGPT or Gemini, followed by like voting to select winning ideas. Importantly, this includes a diverse group of 150 participants, not just enthusiasts, but also skeptics to drive the true organizational buy-in. Now, here is the result at a glance where it's looked like an impact. This is the way the program really proves the value. So at the start of the day, like the sentiment was mixed. 72% of L&D leaders saw AI as a priority, but there was a clear gap in how to move forward. About half of the audience didn't fully trust AI outputs, and only 55% were using AI daily. So the challenge was not awareness, it was confidence and clarity. So by end of the day, our customers saw a significant mindset shift. First excitement surged nearly 8 times based on word cloud analysis. This tells us the narrative moved from hesitation to genuine enthusiasm. And the second is participants felt more empowered. Once AI concepts were demystified and made practical, people were ready to engage, not just observe. And third, our customers saw a clear reduction in fear and confusion. Questions like, should I use this, or how do I use this, were directly addressed through the program design. So this program moved the entire organization from intent to action, from seeing AI as an important to actually feeling equipped to use it. So how Comlab India powered this learning experience as a key technical partner with the customer to design and develop key learning experiences for this entire expert AI training day, bringing instructional design expertise and rapid e-learning development to bring customer vision to life. Emphasizing the speed and depth of customization, Comlab delivered. Every module was crafted specifically for tax and bookkeeping professionals, not generic AI content, repurposed for the audience. Call out the XAPI and LRS integration as a business critical feature. It allowed customer leadership to measure training ROI with hard adoption metrics rather than anecdotal feedback. Note that the modular scalable architecture means this program can expand from 150 expert pilot cohort to the full 60,000 strong expert network. So towards end, one of our group manager from the customer organization given this statement, like they had a quiz, a gamified quiz where Comlab helped us. And it was a live quiz with a live leaderboard and scores. It was really a fun activity. So that's what a genuine endorsement of our partnership quality. So just I forget to, I'll stop share and I'll reshare. There's a small video here. So here I want to show a small demo of the knowledge check, gamified knowledge check, which was developed. And it was developed completely in articulate storyline. Each tile, yeah, I will just go through this video.
Let me walk you through one of our most exciting learning experiences, Trivia Time. As part of our expert network enablement, we launched this gamified knowledge check to reinforce AI 101 in a fun, interactive way. It was developed using Storyline 360, which gave us the flexibility to build a dynamic and immersive game board experience. So how does it work? Each learner begins by choosing a color and clicking Start. That's when the journey begins and the timer starts ticking. The board is interactive. Learners roll the dice to move forward, and with each roll, they draw a card that reveals a question. These questions are randomized for every learner and every attempt, so no two games are ever the same. There are special tiles too. Some let you skip ahead, others send you back. And if you ever need help, the rulebook icon is always just a click away. For every correct answer, learners earn a point. Incorrect answers don't earn any points, so accuracy is key. Once they reach the finish line, their score is automatically sent via XAPI to our learning record store, allowing us to track performance in real time. Depending on how they perform, learners receive personalized messages, from a celebratory game complete to a motivational keep learning, reinforcing progress and encouraging growth. The leaderboard ranks learners, not just by score, but by how quickly they completed the game. The learner who took the least time to finish lands at the top, so speed and accuracy both matter. In the end, Trivia Time transformed a simple knowledge check into a memorable and motivating experience, one that made learning stick and added a spark of friendly competition.
Okay, yeah, this is the demo.
Let me walk you through.
Now we'll move to the second case, where a global manufacturing company which was again with a challenge that many of you will recognize. 15,000 employees, 12 countries, where they would like to go with the annual safety compliance certification, which is mandatory. And the traditional development cycle was 6 months and around the budget of $400K. They have tried an AI pilot the year before and it had stalled. Exactly the governance and integration gaps we talked about earlier. So what we suggested differently is we started with an architecture, not any content with an AI. Architecture, we designed a modular content system first and then defined the skills taxonomy, got the integration with their elements like Workday, all before writing a single word of learning content. And then we used AI to produce content at speed within that governance structure. AI assisted translation into 11 languages and with a human review step for regulated content and automated assembly by role and region. So enrollment triggered automatically from Workday and the different authoring elements. And the result is fully global rollout with 10 weeks and 60% faster than the traditional approach with a budget of 280K savings and a 23% improvement in the completion rates. So in both of these stories have the similar thread, like the AI was not just used to make content faster, it was embedded into a system designed for the outcome, like safety compliance or sales readiness from day one. So that's the difference we are talking about here. Now, before we move forward, let's do a quick pulse check. Which of these best describes your AI usage? Choose your current level in the poll. Be honest, there is no judgment here.
And just a time check, Rajesh, you're about a little under 10 minutes now.
Okay, sure. Great, I think 50% rounding on the emerging level 2. Great. Yeah. So level 2 emerging, which says like the momentum is building, but it's still scattered. Whereas intelligent, you are leveraging AI not just to execute, but to optimize and evolve. Now let's take a closer look at how these all the levels means in practice, because moving up this curve is not adopting more AI. It's all about adopting it differently. Let me give you a framework for locating yourself in the AI maturity journey. We developed this model based on patterns we see across our global client base, where the level 1 is ad hoc. This is where about 45% of enterprises sit right now. AI is being used, but it's ungoverned. Different teams use different tools. There's no quality standard. You might get brilliant outputs from one project and embarrassing ones from another. And the second is level 2 with the emerging. Tools have been selected. There are some basic guidelines. Content is getting built faster. But AI hasn't yet touched the learning system, just the production process. And level 3 is very structured. A governance framework exists. There's an integration roadmap with the LMS. Skills taxonomy work is still underway. About 18% of the enterprises are here, and it's where real scale become possible. And the level 4 is an integrated. It's all fully AI-enabled learning system. Global rollout capability is proven, and skills data is feeding talent decisions. Only about 6% of enterprises have reached to this level. And level 5, which is an intelligent, and the learning ecosystem self-optimizes. Business outcomes are directly and automatically measured. L&D has moved from a support function to a strategic asset. Less than 1% of enterprises are here today. So the question is not how do we get to level 5 starting from today. It's what does it take to move from where we are to the next level. So that's what your roadmap should be built. With that in mind, let's do a quick diagnostic test. So is your AI strategy built to scale? Score yourself honestly. Each yes is 1 point. Your total reveals your readiness level. Like at the bottom, it shows like 0 to 3, it's an ad hoc, level 1 and 2, emerging level 2 and 3. With 7 and 8, it's a structured level at 3 and 4. And with 9 and 10, it's an integrated and intelligent, which is level 4 and 5. Okay. Now we'll move to the how you can build your AI-enabled learning system. So what does it actually look like to start building an AI-enabled learning system? So here is the 6-step path we recommend to our customers. The step 1 is the diagnose before designing. Use the checklist from the previous slide. Know your maturity level, know your gaps, and don't start building systems on top of weak foundation. And second step is build the foundation first. I know the governance is not exciting, but every enterprise deployment that has failed or stalled did so because governance was not in place. So invest most of the time in the governance and choose systems partners, not just tools. Like this decision will define your capability for the next 3 to 5 years. Do your due diligence. And step 4 is design for modularity and scale from day one. If your first project is a 45-minute compliance course or design that course as a set of 5 minutes modules that can be reused, don't optimize for the first deployment, optimize for the 10th. And step 5 is instrument for outcomes before launch. So build your measurement approach before anyone opens the authoring tool. And the step 6 is iterate, learn, and expand. No organization gets this right on the first try. What matters is learning from each deployment and building toward an 18 to 24-month roadmap. So let me close with the key takeaways. So here, the 6 takeaways you can act on is, first one is the ambition execution gap, which is very real and it's not costing organizations competitive advantage. Most L&D teams are stuck at pilot stage, not because AI doesn't work, but because the systematic conditions for scale, which haven't been built. And the second is stop asking how to create content faster. Start asking how to design a learning system that scales reliably. And third is the 5-layer architecture, which is your blueprint. And you don't have to build all 5 layers simultaneously, but you need to plan for all 5. So fourth is your AI partner choice, which will make or break your enterprise ambitions. Evaluate rigorously. And the fifth is real results are achievable, as I have shared with the case, like 60% faster rollout or 20 plus point completion rate improvements, but only when AI is embedded in a purposefully designed system. And the last is know your maturity level, build a realistic roadmap to the next level. So sustainable progress beats ambition leaps that stall. And that was all for today's session. So if you are looking for a fast and effective way to meet your urgent training needs without compromising on quality, we are here to help with our rapid custom e-learning solutions. Imagine becoming the go-to training manager in your organization, the one who always delivers results. Let's make it happen together. So scan the QR code to visit our website, explore our solutions, and have a look at more case studies. And visit our store for exciting offers. And reach out to our learning experts or check out a demo of our solutions. We are excited to partner with you on your learning journey. So do we have time, Avery? So
we maybe have time for one question.
Okay, yeah.
Connie was asking how long does it take to create a game like the one that you showed?
Sorry, how long it will take?
Yeah, how long does it typically take to create a game like the one that you showed?
Okay, the game which I have shown as a demo, within 2 days we have developed it.
Awesome. Great.
Yeah.
Um,
And if anything, we will make sure we'll send you the answers for all the Q&A, which I couldn't able to address here as we run out of time.
yeah, we'll be
Thank you.
sure
Thank you.
to
Yeah,
pass
thank
any
you
questions
all
over.
so much for your time and your excellent questions.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. This was a wonderful session. And then, yeah, with that, we are going to take about a 15-minute break. And up next, we have Dave and Stephanie from Camtasia for their session, How AI Voices and Avatars Influence Learning and What the Research Shows. So I hope you all stick around for the next session, which will begin at the top of the hour. And thank you so much again, Rajesh, for your time today. And we'll see you all soon.
Thank you. Thank you.